PhotoView 360 is a SolidWorks add-in used to create photorealistic renderings of your SolidWorks models. While the process to create a rendering is straightforward, there are some tips you need to know before you render models with transparent appearances. First, I'll enable PhotoView 360 by going to Tools, Add-ins, selecting the checkbox next to PhotoView 360, and then clicking OK. You'll see the Render Tools tab appear in the toolbar. Here I have a model of an empty champagne glass that I want filled with liquid and then rendered. I'll begin by starting a new sketch on the front plane, and then, using Convert Entities, I'll select the sketch used for the cut revolve of the glass. I'll delete the top line and sketch a horizontal line at the height I want the glass filled to. Then I'll use the Trim tool to trim the extra sketch lines. Finally, I'll revolve the sketch. Be sure the Merge Result option is unchecked. With the Merge Result option unchecked, the liquid will be a separate body from the glass, which makes it easy to apply appearances to each solid body. If you want, you can make the top surface of the liquid look slightly more realistic by using the Freeform tool found in the Surfaces toolbar. I'll skip this step to save time, but if you want, you could add control curves and control points to the top surface and deform it slightly to give it a more natural look. If I look in the Solid Bodies folder in the Feature Manager, there are two solid bodies in the part, one for the glass and one for the liquid. I can go ahead and apply appearances to each of these bodies. I'll open the Appearances, Scenes, and Decals task pane, browse for a clear glass appearance, and then drag and drop the appearance onto the glass. Next, I'll click the Revolve in the Solid Bodies folder. Click the Appearances drop-down and add an appearance to this body. In the Color Property Manager, I'll pick a color for the liquid and then move on to the Advanced Settings. I'll click the Illumination tab. Here I can adjust the transparency of the color along with other illumination properties. Now that I have my appearances applied, I can move on to setting up the scene and rendering the image. I'll browse for a scene and drag and drop it to the graphics window. I'll also position the model so it looks the way I'd like it to in the rendering. All that's left before rendering is setting the options. I'll click the Options icon on the Render Tools toolbar and set the Preview Render Quality and Final Render Quality to Good. I'll also enable Direct Caustics. Adjusting the Direct Caustic settings modifies how light rays are reflected and refracted through transparent curved objects. Caustics are applied after a render is complete, so you will not see its effects in the preview window. Since these settings are a bit abstract, you may have to go back and adjust these settings a few times to get your render looking just right. With the settings complete, I'll close the Property Manager and produce a final rendering. When the render is complete, notice that the liquid inside the glass is not transparent. This is because, with a good render quality, PhotoView only uses 4 refractions, which doesn't send enough light through the model. If I go back to the PhotoView Options Property Manager, I can change the preview and final render qualities to maximum and reproduce the image. This time, the liquid is transparent, like I wanted. Using a render quality of maximum, PhotoView uses 10 refractions, sending much more light into the model, allowing transparencies to show within the glass. The downside of using a maximum render quality is that it takes much longer than a good render quality to complete. However, in this situation, you must use the maximum option to make the liquid look right.